Okay, a Friday video. I want to make this quick again. Like last week's Friday video, we're running late for CrossFit. Oh, sorry, Lisa. It is 11:39 a.m. I think it's important that I say the time on it. In fact, it is important that I say the time on these videos because I need to explain what the videos are. These aren't tipping videos. They're not tipster videos. The horses that I say on these videos aren't horses I say that you should be going to bet on. Why? Because of the time. It's so really important. Okay, so yesterday I say this particular horse is good value at 125 to 1. And then I hear someone say, well, I can't get 125 to 1. Well, look, I did the video yesterday at 10:21. And I don't know what time you looked, but the point of the video wasn't to tell you to get on the horse at 125 to 1. The point of the video was to tell you that I'm getting on it at 10:21 at 125 to 1. If you're looking at 12:21 and that horse has been cut, even maybe to 100 to 1, that might make that horse bad value. In which case I would say, do not bet on that horse. The same horse that I'm on, you can't just take it at lower odds. Maybe even you can't even take it at the same odds anymore because the fair odds have drifted. So the purpose of this video isn't to give out horses for you to watch and copy, because I very much doubt you're going to be getting the same EV as me at... Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:40 a.m.
11:40 a.m, right? So I lied before because I said it was 11:39. One more thing, another thing someone's got a problem with is how we're recording profit loss. Apparently, shouldn't be mixing in exchange bets with shop bets. I thought I was just doing a video where I was explaining what I was betting on and going through, you know, instead of talking about what I've been betting on after it's finished, I'm putting these videos up before the races. I thought that would be a good idea. For some reason, we can't be mixing up exchange bets and multiples in shops. Fine. I've taken exchange bets out. I'll put them in their own spreadsheet for the future. And we'll just leave shop bets in, okay? And we'll reduce our overall profit loss as a result of that. But we'll keep them separate. We'll keep everyone happy, okay? So no bets will be included that aren't talked about in the video. I might get out on a bet in 20 minutes. It won't be included. And the shop bets will be on their own. And I am doing myself a disservice. I'm reducing my profit as a result of doing that. But we'll keep hopefully everybody happy, okay? Yesterday, a really good day in the shops. £524.50 profit. That puts my 39 multiples at 13.8% ROI. Another day of Nearlies. I like my Nearlies. We talked about them before. Let's just talk about the Nearlies. I had a win, loss, win, loss. Now, either of those wins was 18% to come in for another £5,000. 18% for £5,000. I also had a place, win, loss, and I was 33% to get 2,118 in another one. So there you go. I was 18% for £5,000. I was 2,118. Sorry, I was 33% for 2,118. Neither came in, but got to enjoy the profits. Now, someone's asked me, in the recent video, you mentioned that for a PPPL, you had a 67% chance of getting the P for an additional 2.5k. For another, you stake 30% chance. My question is, how did you calculate the 67% chance? Well, it's easy when you place loss, you need one more place. So it depends on the odds of the horse. But roughly, if you just want to run with rough maths, take the win price of your horse, or you could look on the exchange for the place price, and then that's the probability. Or just take the win price and very roughly -1. So let's say it's 10 to 1. 11.0 minus 1 is 10. Divide that by 5 is 2, and then add 1. Divide by 5 and then add 1. You get to 3. And then from 3, how do you turn that into probability? You take the reciprocal. 1 divided by 3 equals 33% chance. That's how that is. It gets a little bit more confusing. So with that win-loss, win-loss, in one race, I was 10%. In another race, I was 8%. Now, technically, the order that I'm using isn't quite 18%. It's better than that because you've got to use a slightly more complicated or when both can win. But in my head, I'm not doing that. So in my head, I'm roughly just going, it's 18%. It's actually better than 18%, but because I'm using a pessimistic figure on the video, no, you can't have a go at me. So it depends, your chance of making more profit depends on how many horses you need to place or win and what the probability of those horses placing or winning is, right? The 2 horses I had left yesterday were 9.5 and 12. So 9.5, 1 divided by 9.5 is 10, 1 divided by 12 is 8, add 10 and 8 together, 18%. That's how I worked it out. And another bit of feedback, final bit of feedback today is how do you work out which horses you're going to put into a multiple? There's no exact science. It's an art, not a science. If you stand in front of a canvas and you stare at it thinking, how am I going to make the perfect lines when I begin this painting, you'll never ever get started, right? There is no perfect way of doing it. It comes down to risk tolerance. Sometimes it doesn't even come down to risk tolerance. Sometimes it comes down to what's available. Sometimes there's a lot available. So I'm going to generally talk about now live what I'm doing. This could get a little bit messy, especially since I need to leave for CrossFit in 15 minutes. I need to get this video uploaded. So I'm going to try and get this done and dusted in 5 minutes. Oh, football as well, by the way. Panama, USA got a Weah, not George Weah. T. Weah got a red card in the 18th minute, and that killed our half-time, full-time USA in that match. They even went 1-0 up, but they didn't hold on to that. With the 10 men, and Uruguay, we had Nunes to score first. Well, Pellistri scored first, not Nunes. Actually, Uruguay went with 3 up front, Pellistri be one of those, not Nunes up front by himself. And that might have slightly affected things. Had we been up at 1 o'clock in the morning to see that? We weren't. Nunes did get the second goal in the 21st minute and played all the way to the 83rd minute. So that 4.5 or whatever we got for 2+ goals was a great bet, and I'd have those bets over and over and over and over again, right? Okay, I'm looking at William Hill. We've got Carrara, Newcastle, Cartmel today. First things first, Irish racing. In my head, I'm thinking I'm not as confident on Irish racing as I am on Royal Ascot or Cheltenham or UK racing. So I'm maybe going to factor that into my decision making. Second is, we've got a lot of plus EV horses, but a lot of 100 and 101%. Look, if I've got 3 big EV horses, I'll put 100% in there. I'll put a 99% in there. I'll put a 98% in there, because it's the compounding of the value of the 100s and 10s and 20s and 30s that I'm worried about. Now, in this data set I'm looking at, there's maybe, well, I don't know, I don't need a maybe. There's 44 plus EV horses. Only 14 are over 105%, and a whopping 20 are 100%, 101, 102. So whilst I've got 44 horses, half of them I'm not so interested in. And the top horse is 100 to 1. And another thing is, I need higher EV for higher odds. I'm not taking 100 to 1 at 103% EV. I am taking 5 to 2 at 103% EV. So the same EV doesn't apply in my threshold in my head for the same odds. I need higher EV when there are higher odds. It's just the way things go. That 100 to 1 that's sitting at the top of the tracker, I'm just going to skip over it for my first bet. I may come back to it depending on what I build. I'm straight down to the 525 in Newcastle, where I'm on the top horse there. I could choose between Matisse, Moonstone Boy, and Ziggy's Missile at 23, 17 and 13. And there might be some utility in going for the lower odds horse, but I'm probably going to come back and get him in another one. I now need to mix him up with a few more horses. I'm going to go for the 825 in Carrara at 11 to 1. I'm going to go for the 447 at Cartmel. 16 to 107% EV is fine there. I'm going to finish him off with a banger on D. That's a lucky 15, 12 to 1. And my lucky 15 is 22 to 1, 11 to 1, 16 to 1, 12 to 1, all over 106%. I think that's a really solid start. Next thing, I'm just going down still, and I see it's 104%, which is like the 15th highest horse. There's a horse at 9 to 2 called Bothar. So I'm having Bothar, and now I'm looking up. Of course, I've got to find different races for Bothar, but I'm going to go back to that 525 at Newcastle. I'm going to have Ziggy's Missile at 12 to 1. So this is another low odds one. And I think I'm going to put him in another 7.15 Carragh 14-1 and finally a 4.55 at Newcastle 16-1. That's a lucky 15 at 9-2, 16-1, 14-1. Excuse me, I have, let's just do that again. 9-2, 16-2, 14-1, and Ziggy's Missile was 12-1. Okay, the one thing I just got to check is they're all different races, which just confused me a little bit there. And now I'm going to get that big old horse into a Trixie, and I'm going to put 100-1, 7.50 Carragh, Lord Park, and I'm going to put him into Trixie with not mega old horses. Archduke Ferdinand at 9-1, Bergerac at 13-2. Do you know what? I'm actually going to make a lucky 15 out of this because there's enough value. If there wasn't another horse, that'd be a Trixie, but I can see a lot of value. 7.50, 10-1, Carragh, Brewer Hill. That's my horse. That is, oh, 7.50. I've already got that 100-1 horse, so I can't have him. That's sometimes the difficulty in this game is just making sure the horses are in different races. So I'm going to have Rain, slightly higher odds, 14-1 in the 7.15 in Carragh. And I made a lucky 15 there because 100-1s in Trixies, you need 2 places to win. The 100-1's going to not place at 1 out of every 20 times. A lot of the times, putting a 100-1 horse in a Trixie essentially means you're placing a double, but for a lot more money. So I'm just thinning out the number of multiples that contain that 100-1 in my lucky 15. So there you go, I've got for 3 lucky 15s at William Hill. What am I doing over at Betfred? Interestingly, I have ordered them the wrong way around. I was going to say, interestingly, the top EV horse is an odds-on horse. That never happens, but that's only because I've sorted them the wrong way. So again, same horse, Lord Park, 100-1 is top, but I don't need to have that guy twice. That would be too much. I am going to have too much. 66-1 in the 6.35 Newcastle. Throw him into a lucky 15 with Moonstone Boy again. Ziggy's Missile again. I hope they're not in the same lucky 15. If I wasn't talking and doing this, I'd maybe check that, but I'm not. Yeah, they're all in the same one. So there we go. Too much. Moonstone Boy, Ziggy's Missile, and Model Approach at Betfred. And then we got Rhyme Scheme, 66-1, high odds horse. Say You'll Never. And I don't want to double up too many horses. So I'm not going to take Matisse. I am going to take Rest and Be Thankful, as long as he's not in the 647, 447 Carmel, which he is. So we're going to have Dynamite Kentucky, and I'm just going to do a mid-odds Trixie of Rest and Be Thankful, 447 Carmel, Court Drive, 330 Yarmouth, and then I'm going to scan down for a lower odds horse, Stoke the Fire, 4-1, 101% EV. Wouldn't have taken that if it was much higher, but it isn't, so I'm good to take it. Those are going to be my 6 multiples today. 5 lucky 15s, because there was plenty of value, and 1 Trixie. Let me just order those whilst I look at football. There was something on football, I think. Oh no, I looked at the Copa America tonight. I couldn't find anything now, but I think I'm going to be on something later. I think I'm going to be on half-time, full-time. Looked spot on in both games. The goal scorers didn't see anything there. I've got my eye on Colombia to win both halves. I think it's not liquid, so I can't bet on it, but I think I'm going to find value. I think it should be 3.08. I think I'm going to get 3.4. I haven't got it now. It's really annoying because I'm 99% sure I'm going to be on this bet, but at the time of recording the video, nothing's traded. I haven't traded anything, so I'm not including it. So that might win tonight, but it's not getting included in my bets. So there you go. That's the transparency that we're doing. Right. Good luck.